Welcome to Microbe World. Today, we explore the microscopic jungle living on man's best friend, the adventurous and loyal dog. We previously explored the clean aristocrats known as cats, but now we turn our attention to the wild explorers, dogs. Because dogs love to scavenge, sniff, and roll in nature, their microbiome is significantly more diverse and heavy than cats. Their fur and skin become a living map of every place they have visited, collecting guests from soil and waste. The most common resident on this map is Staphylococcus intermedius, a bacteria that usually lives peacefully on the canine skin. However, when the skin is scratched or becomes too humid, these bacteria cause dermatitis, pus, and that characteristic dog smell. Dogs often groom themselves, transferring oral bacteria like capnocytophaga from their mouth directly onto their fur coat during the process. If a human with an open wound touches this freshly licked fur, the risk of serious infection increases significantly immediately. Another resident is Bordetella bronchoseptica, commonly found hiding in the nose and mouth, waiting for the right moment to strike. This is the primary agent behind kennel cough, a highly contagious respiratory disease that spreads rapidly in crowded pet environments. Beyond bacteria, the thick fur and warm body temperature of a dog create a perfect paradise for professional bloodsuckers. Ticks are the most dangerous intruders, latching onto the skin to feed while anchoring themselves firmly for a long meal. The species Rhipicephalus sanguineus is particularly common, acting not just as a parasite, but as a biological transport for diseases. They transmit dangerous conditions like Ehrlichia, which attacks blood platelets, or Lyme disease, which can also affect human health severely. Then we have fleas, incredible athletes capable of jumping vast distances to land on your dog and start their infestation. Flea saliva causes severe allergic dermatitis, making the dog scratch uncontrollably and damaging their skin barrier, inviting more bacterial infections. Even worse, fleas often carry tapeworm larvae. If the dog swallows an infected flea, the parasite enters the intestines immediately. Once swallowed, the larva matures into a long tapeworm inside the gut, stealing nutrients and compromising the dog's overall health. Deep in the hair follicles live mange mites like Demodex, which usually exist peacefully, but flare up when immunity drops. Sarcoptes mites are far more aggressive, causing intense itching and mange that can easily spread to human owners through contact. Similar to cats, dogs also carry fungal spores, like Microsporum canis, which are invisible enemies waiting to cause skin issues. These fungi typically appear on the legs, ears, or face, creating circular patches of hair loss known commonly as ringworm. The fungal spores on dog fur are incredibly resilient and can easily infect humans, especially children who cuddle their pets. Dogs have a habit of sniffing sensitive areas and licking the ground, turning their noses into vehicles for dangerous parasites. Roundworm eggs, like Toxicara canis, often cling to the fur around the rear end or legs after dogs use the bathroom. Leptospira bacteria lurk in puddles contaminated by wildlife urine, and dogs bring this pathogen home simply by walking through it. This leads us to a shocking fact. The dog's paw is essentially a giant, mobile bacterial colony collecting street debris. Have you ever noticed a strange smell coming from your dog's paws, resembling salty popcorn or perhaps cheesy corn snacks? This aroma is not from snacks, but is the metabolic byproduct of Proteus, or Pseudomonas bacteria living on the paws. Since dogs do not wear shoes, their paws sweat through the pads, creating a moist environment that bacteria absolutely love. The combination of sweat, body heat, and bacterial activity produces this signature scent, often called Frito feet by many owners. However, if the smell becomes overpowering, it signals a microbial imbalance, likely a yeast infection that needs veterinary attention immediately. Dogs are naturally drawn to strong smells and dirt, constantly re-inoculating their microbiome with new organisms from the outside world. Compared to the cat's controlled ecosystem, the dog's body is a wild frontier, hosting a much heavier load of microbes. To manage this, regular hygiene is essential. Wiping paws after walks helps reduce the number of unwanted guests entering home. Regular baths and parasite prevention treatments are the best weapons to keep the microbial population on your dog under control. Using vet-approved products to repel ticks and fleas is crucial, not just for the dog, but for human safety too. While we love sleeping with our pets, remember that their fur carries an invisible world that transfers to your bedding. Bacteria from their paws and saliva can linger on sheets, so frequent washing of bedding is necessary for shared sleeping. Understanding these microbes doesn't mean we should fear dogs, but rather respect the biological complexity they carry with them daily. From Staphylococcus on the skin to the popcorn-smelling bacteria on their feet, dogs are truly walking ecosystems of diverse life. Avoid letting dogs lick open wounds or your face directly, as their saliva is not as sterile as myths suggest. Regular checkups allow professionals to spot parasites like mange or ringworm early, preventing them from spreading to your family members. Dogs are explorers by nature, and their microbiome reflects their adventurous spirit and their constant interaction with the natural world. Together with cats, they complete the picture of our household microbiome, each bringing different challenges and joys to our lives. Despite the germs and parasites, the bond we share with them is worth every bit of effort in hygiene management. Even young puppies carry roundworms from birth, proving that parasite management must start from the very beginning of their lives. Surprisingly, many parasites like roundworms transmit from mother to puppies before they are even born, requiring early deworming protocols. You might see dogs eating grass. This is an instinctual behavior that can sometimes introduce new soil bacteria to their gut. Their stomach acid is much stronger than ours, allowing them to handle bacterial loads that would make a human sick. This high acidity is their first line of defense, neutralizing many pathogens from the dirty things they swallow daily. However, raw diets can still carry salmonella, which they can shed in their stool and transmit to their human owners. Hygiene is key. Always wash your hands after handling dog waste or raw food to break the cycle of transmission. Children are most vulnerable to zoonotic diseases, so teaching them to wash hands after playing with the dog is vital. Remember that flea eggs can fall off the dog and remain dormant in your carpets for months before hatching again. Vacuuming your home frequently is just as important as treating the dog, ensuring you remove the next generation of parasites. Swimming in natural water bodies exposes dogs to Giardia and other protozoa that cause severe diarrhea and intestinal distress. Giardia is a microscopic parasite found in contaminated water that attaches to the intestinal wall and blocks nutrient absorption effectively. Always provide fresh water for your dog and discourage them from drinking from stagnant puddles to avoid these nasty parasites. The wet nose of a dog is not just for smelling. The mucus helps trap airborne bacteria and viruses effectively. Sneezing is their natural mechanism to expel these trapped invaders before they can travel deeper into the respiratory system. Floppy ears create a warm, dark, and moist environment, the perfect breeding ground for Malassezia yeast and painful ear infections. Under the microscope, Malassezia yeast looks like tiny peanuts. An overgrowth leads to brown wax and a distinct, musty smell. Regular ear cleaning is essential for dogs with floppy ears to maintain airflow and prevent this yeast from taking over. Senior dogs have weaker immune systems, making them more susceptible to demodectic mange and bacterial infections than younger, healthy dogs. Both puppies and seniors require extra attention to their skin and hygiene to protect them from these opportunistic microbial invaders. Brushing your dog daily helps remove dead skin cells and loose hair, reducing the food source for bacteria and mites. A clean coat allows air to reach the skin, keeping it dry and making it harder for bacteria to colonize. Keep their nails trimmed short. Long nails can trap infected soil containing hookworm larvae that can penetrate human skin. Trimming nails reduces the amount of dirt brought indoors and minimizes the risk of scratching skin during play. A healthy dog is a happy dog. By managing their microbiome, we ensure they have peaceful sleep and energetic days. Their immune system is constantly working hard to keep the balance, but good hygiene practices give them a massive advantage. Our journey with dogs is one of companionship. Understanding the invisible world they carry helps us protect that precious bond. We have covered bacteria, aggressive parasites, stubborn fungi, and the fascinating reasons behind the unique smells of our canine friends. Dogs may be messy explorers, but their biological complexity is a marvel of nature that deserves our study and respect. The next time your dog shakes off water or offers a paw, you will know exactly what invisible life exists there. Take a moment to check your dog's coat today. Prevention is always better, cheaper, and safer than treating a disease. Thank you for joining us on this microscopic adventure into the wild and wonderful world of the canine microbiome. If you enjoyed learning about the secret residence on your dog, please like this video and share it with friends. Don't forget to subscribe to Microbe World for more deep dives into the invisible universe that surrounds us every day. Stay curious, keep your pets clean, and we will see you in the next episode. This is Microbe World signing off.